Welcome to the live stream. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Can you hear me? I think everything's okay, but if you can't hear me, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know that too. I don't need these headphones. So welcome to the live stream. This is live stream number, I don't know, 8 or 9 or 10, I suppose. I should start counting these. But yeah, I almost didn't go live today because I did not come out with another video this past week. Adam, hello, you can hear me. Thank you very much for letting me know. Yeah, so I did not come out with a new video this week because things were so crazy busy with my business. And usually what I like to do is release a video or two and then support that with a live stream afterwards. But so I hummed and hawed, and then I thought, well, you know what? Just in case anybody has any questions they want to ask me, I'll pop online. It's no big deal for me to do this. Getting much more comfortable doing this now. Now that I have some things sorted out. I had some issues last week with one of these monitors. It crapped out whenever I turned my A10 Mini on for some reason. I think it has something to do with a splitter I have in the back. But anyways, I got that sorted out today. Let me just see. Is the sound button clicked on? It sounds a bit echoey. You know what? That's probably because I probably have this open. Let me see now. There, does that sound any better? I have myself muted. I have myself, just so you know what I'm doing here, and I'm still trying to sort all this out. Here's another view from my other camera. This is what I'm looking at, just so you all know. A lot going on here. So on this monitor over here, that's where I've got StreamYard opened up. Let me see now. Adam says, yes, I'm not sure what that is for. It all sounds good? Yes? Anyways, so yeah, I've got StreamYard running on this monitor here. That's what's running my live stream. On this monitor is my main monitor that I can share with you guys. And I do that by I don't know if you can see, but down here in StreamYard, I just click on share screen, share system audio, and I select the screen that I want to share. And now I'm able to share the screen like this. Okay. So back to my other camera view. So yeah, so this monitor here is the one that I can share with you guys. This one up here is where I'm looking at YouTube and the live stream. So it's quite delayed, but I can see how many people are watching. I can see that's where the YouTube chats come in. But see, they also come in over here. If I zoom in, the YouTube chats come in right there as well, right in StreamYard. Okay, so there's actually two places you can look at that. So anyways, that's so I'm showing you all this through this camera here. Throw that back there. Okay, so yeah, the idea is I can move that camera around the way I've got it set up so that if there's anything you guys want to see about my setup, or if you have any questions about it, I can quickly switch over to that camera and then show you whatever it is you want to see or whatever I want to show you. So yeah, that's how that works. Hopefully the audio is sorted out. I guess there's one other thing that it could be, the camera. Let me see now. Adam says, a fantastic insight into how it all works. Great. Yeah. So, and that's what I want to do. I just want to show you guys, I'm fairly new to this. I'm very new to this. My channel is over a year old, but there were probably 8 months where I didn't do anything. I came out with about a dozen or so videos last year, over a year ago. So January, February of 2021. And then I didn't do really anything. So I had, I think, 6 subscribers at that point after I had 12 videos posted. And then I went months, and I think it was maybe 6 months before I got up to 100 subscribers just from them, people finding my videos in search. I wasn't promoting it in any way at all. Um, and then last summer, one of my videos started to get some traction. It started to get a lot more views, and it still is today. One of my most viewed videos is how to create a video introduction in Camtasia, and I made that last January, and it continually brings in a hundred. I want to say 50. Oh, geez, I'm going to get this wrong, but let me just look it up. Actually, I can do that. Let me just see here. If I go to YouTube Studio, um, yeah, I could probably show you guys this. Let me show you guys what I see. Okay, in my studio, so let me share this screen like this. Okay, all right, let me just, okay, Adam says, sounds better now. Awesome. Adam, thank you for your help in sorting that out. Pretty sure I might have had forgotten to mute one of these screens. When you have so many screens on, if there's audio coming through it, I can't hear it because I have my speakers turned off. The only way I can hear what's going through my system is like this with these headphones. So, yeah, I don't hear an echo of myself now through the headphones. I don't usually like to wear them. My head gets hot if I wear those for too long. But yeah, that's how you have to monitor what things sound like when you have your speakers turned off. Because if I left my speakers on, then the sound of that would get picked up by this microphone, and then that creates an echo. So anyways, yeah, let me show you. Let me turn off some of these. Turn that off there and show you my screen. Uh, all kinds of things I've got going on here. I'll hide that as well. Okay, so here is my YouTube studio. Okay, so it shows me at a glance which one of my, so this was my last posted video. Okay, it shows how many views I've had, how it ranks versus all of my other videos. So it's my fourth best ranking video for the first 10 days and 7 hours. Okay, 119 views. I have 967 subscribers. I'm gaining about 117 per month, thereabouts right now. So at that rate, I should hit 1,000 subscribers in the next, I'm going to say, week or two, which would be great. I won't be monetized. That's a big question a lot of people have. Oh, you're going to get monetized. How long does it take you to get monetized? Getting monetized just means that you are then able to earn a commission, basically a cut of all the advertising revenue that YouTube makes off of your channel. So off of the ads that YouTube shows on my channel, I would get a cut if I were monetized. You can't get monetized, or a YouTube channel can't get monetized until they have three things. One, you have to have 1,000 subscribers, which I'm getting close to that. Number two, you have to have at least 4,000 hours of watch time within the previous 365 days or 1 year. And I am not that close to that. I think I've got about 2,000 watch hours. So I'm about halfway towards that, but that's a rolling thing. So if my channel continues to grow in popularity, then the views will continue to grow. I can say that at this moment in time, if I just go to my video analytics here, I can show you. So yeah, this shows how many views I've had in the last 28 days. So 4,500. Well, 4,000. Oh, that's views. Sorry. And watch time 286 hours in the last 28 days. So if I multiply that out, 286 times 12 months. So that would be 3,400 hours if I were to repeat this month 12 more times. So that would say, although that's higher than it was a couple months ago, it was down to 2,000. So it has grown in the last couple months. I'm going to say 6 to 8 months or so away from being monetized. But that's really not my focus right now, and it shouldn't be, because even when you're monetized, people think, oh, that's the holy grail. Oh, I'm monetized. Great. Now I can start making lots of money. Doesn't really work that way. From all the research that I've done and other channels that I've watched, just to try to learn how that all works. Typically, when you get monetized, you're only going to make maybe anywhere from 20 to, well, $20 a month, maybe 100, maybe somewhere in that range. So it's not a lot. It's really a long game. So if the idea is to make money from YouTube by getting monetized and earning a cut of their ad revenue, that could take quite a long time to make enough or as much as you want. And typically, what I've found is that's usually not the biggest revenue stream for YouTube channel owners. Okay, it's a revenue stream, but there's several other revenue streams. There's affiliate marketing, so affiliate links. You'll see affiliate links in people's descriptions, video descriptions. You'll see some in mine. If you promote, so if a channel promotes software or hardware or products that can be found on, say, Amazon or software. A lot of software companies have their own affiliate programs. So anything like that, anything that has an affiliate program, or if it's hardware or tangible goods that perhaps can be bought on Amazon. Amazon has an affiliate program that you can sign up for, and then you can have links that you put in your video descriptions. And then if people click on those links and then eventually buy something from Amazon, you would make a commission as an affiliate. So in what I've found, a lot of people tend to make more money uh, as affiliates through affiliate revenue than they do through monetization of their YouTube channel. And then there are other ways too. There's courses. People sell courses. If you know how to do something really well enough that you can teach it online or in a video, then you could make a course about it, whatever it is, and then sell that, or memberships, or there's all kinds of things. Maybe you have your own product, and your YouTube channel just supports your product or business that you run elsewhere. Maybe you have your own website, and this is just a way to support that, um, where you can sell your own products. So anyways, there's lots of different ways you can earn a living or earn an income, either full time or part time, through YouTube. Not necessarily directly from YouTube, but using YouTube as I guess the social media platform that you use. So, anyways, that said, getting monetized, although it'll be cool, and I am looking forward to getting monetized someday. Hopefully that'll happen. But I'm probably several months to a year away from that happening, even though I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers. So, those of you who have subscribed, thank you very much. I hope you get some value out of the videos that I make and these live streams. And I will continue to do so. And in fact, if there's anything that you'd like to see me do a video on, just let me know. You can either let me know as in these live chats during the live streams, or in the comment section of any of my videos. If there's something else that maybe you watch a video and it sparks a question in you, that you say, "Oh, okay, that's great to do that, but I'd love to know how to do this." Well, ask me in the comments. I respond to all comments and questions. Um, and quite often it'll result in me making a video out of your question. So yeah. So with that said, where was I? Oh, I wanted to talk a little. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I've got my YouTube studio up here. So yeah, everybody can see. I can go through my analytics, how many views I've had in the last month, the watch time, and there's a graph here, how many subscribers I get. So you can see I'll get anywhere from 6, 4, 10, 4 per day. These are new subscribers, net new subscribers. So the odd time subscribers will leave, but that's outweighed by the ones who join. So that's how that works. And then over here, you can see your hour by hour views. So in the last hour, there have been 13 views of my videos, and this live stream counts. So when I'm live, this is usually we'll get a little bit of a spike here. So between 12 and 1, there were 19 people. Some of them may have been tuning in just as the live stream was about to start. I think I was about 5 minutes late though. So, and then 13 so far this hour. So that's live. Then you can go over here on the left and click to see your content, and this will list all of the videos that I've posted, and it'll show whether they're public or not, whether there are any restrictions, the date published, views, comments, and so on. So yeah, and for any of these videos, if you wanted to drill down further and say look at the analytics, you can do so by clicking this link here, and then you're looking at the analytics for that particular video, and then how many subscribers you got from that video. Okay, so let me just back up one page. Um, so I mentioned I had one video that's over a year old, and it's way down here. Is this one right here? This is the video that, so I've had 9,600 views of this video, 47 comments, 99.2% like rate. So 470 likes, 4 dislikes. So yeah, and if we want to look further into maybe try to figure out why this video was so popular, we just click on this analytics icon here, and then we can see. So this goes back to 504 days. So this video was posted 504 days ago. If we go way back here, and you can hover over here to see the numbers. Thought we could here. There we go. Yeah. So after 84 days, there were only 36 views of this video. Okay. So if I just keep going, first 100 days, there were 37 views. Okay. The most recent video I just posted was only posted about 10 days ago, and I have over 100 views already. But this video, to get to 100 views, let's see how long it took. Right around there, 155 days. So almost half a year before this one. And that's because when I posted this, I had 6 subscribers. Okay. So there weren't many people being notified of this video when it first came out. But then something happened and it started to gain some traction. And we can see that by this graph here. Okay. So see how it just started, it ramped right up like that. So now over time, I started to gain more subscribers, and then perhaps some of them would go back and see some of my older videos. But that doesn't tell the whole story either. And I know that because if I drill down even further and look at the reach, I can see here that Google search is a lot of it. So under traffic source, I can see Google search makes up 42% of all the traffic that this video gets. That's Google search, not YouTube search. So, and remember that. So YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Okay, YouTube. A lot of people don't think of it as a search engine, but it is. It's the second largest search engine in the world. Which do you think is the largest? Well, that would be Google, who happens to own YouTube. So, a lot of times, if you do a search in Google, the first few search results will be videos. They'll show a video, and they will be YouTube videos. So this video is obviously getting some good traction in the Google search, and that could be related to the keywords that I have, or the description that I have, and the keywords that are in my description, and so on. So there's quite a science to it. Try to figure out how it all works. And as a YouTuber, those who are trying to grow a YouTube channel, part of the game, if you will, is to research this stuff and to try to figure out, okay, why is that video taking off, and then try to replicate that. So, and there's other things you can do. I mean, I could go look at engagement, for instance, and if I look at engagement, I can look. So there's the video, same set as you can see here, pretty much. And as you can see by this graph here, after 5 minutes into the video, there's still 30 or 40, 44% of the people on average are still watching, which is pretty good. It looks like there's quite a drop off in the beginning, but then it almost bounces back up a little bit. That typically means people are rewinding to watch something again. And can we click here to see
using
what?
Camtasia Studio. There are lots of different tips and
Now,
tricks that
are
go
you
into
hearing
making
that?
video tutorials look professional, and I'm going to cover
Yep,
them
I
all
can
in a
hear
series
it.
of shorter videos, which will hopefully make it easier for you to find exactly what you're looking for. So in this,
Okay, so yeah, so and then at the very end, there's another little rise up here.
and let's
Just see what
drag
that
this
is.
animation so that it goes right to almost the end. But before we take it to the end, let's actually set the state parameters here. So we
So
want a slow zoom. So right now it's at 75%. Let's make that
okay, so I'm
80.
going into some a fair amount of detail here.
And we also want to drag it right to the very end. So
Okay, so I think what's happened there is I was going through a lot of detail. I was going up and I was looking at the up here. I was looking at um, the percentage of the scale and things like that, and doing some detailed work with the mouse and whatnot. And because of that, perhaps I was saying it a little too fast, or there was just so much information that people were obviously interested in. They perhaps either paused it, went back and watched a certain section again. And when that happens, that's typically when you get a little bounce up in this graph. So that's probably what was going on here. And then at this point, right before it drops off, I probably ended.
and that's how you create a professional looking
Yeah.
intro
So
for a
that
video
was it.
tutorial.
And then I just had my little closing remarks, which not a lot of people stick around for. So, anyways, this is another good tool to use to find out if your video is doing well or not. Audience, you can look at where your audience is coming from, returning viewers, unique viewers, subscribers. So this video alone has attributed to 335 of my existing 960 odd subscribers came to me through this video. So that suggests to me that I should be dissecting this video a little bit more and trying to either make other videos that continue on from what I was talking about here. And just at the top of my mind, what I'm thinking is that maybe I should. I mean, I talked in this video. I talked about this being the first part of how to create a video tutorial. Okay, and that was creating the intro, and that's what I walked through here. Well, maybe I need to follow this up with a video on how to how to insert the voice, how to insert your screenshots, how to insert background music, and how to marry up two tracks of background music and things like that, just and complete the whole thing as so that people can create a professional video tutorial from start to finish. So that's and I've been thinking about that. There's just so much to do. It's hard to know where to go next. Yeah, because I've also talking more about Fiverr, and that's the way I kind of build this video as one where I will go through how to create a Fiverr business and make a full time income as a Fiverr freelancer, which is what I do. Um, it's what I do, but it's making video tutorials is the actual what I do, whereas Fiverr is the medium through which I sell my services, my video tutorials and subtitling and the other gigs that I have. So anyways, yeah, there's seems to be there's a lot of different paths that I could go with this channel. This is one, teaching you how to do things in Camtasia. Teaching how to do things in Fiverr is another one. Um, and actually what I've got here, and this kind of rolls right into this. What this is so Camtasia, obviously I've got Camtasia open. I shouldn't say obviously. For those of you who come to my channel wanting to know more about Camtasia, you'll recognize this as being Camtasia. And what I've got here is a Fiverr gig video that I created in Camtasia. Okay. So this is the gig video that I made for my video tutorials gig. And if you go to my Fiverr profile, if I just pop over here to Fiverr and if I search for video tutorials, hopefully I will pop up. Yes, right there. So there's my gig. And you can click on this. And actually, one of the first things I do, I'm in Canada, so by default, when I'm not logged in, the currency is shows Canadian dollars. So I always switch that over to US dollars. Um, Nothing against my own country's currency. It's just that most of my clients are either U.S. based or not Canadian, and don't necessarily know what the Canadian dollar is all about. So I apologize to my fellow Canadians, but the US dollar language is one that more of my clients speak. So anyways, here is my gig, the video tutorial gig that I have. And you can see I have the title up here, a little bit about my account. I'm a level 2 seller. And then this is my gig video. And if you watched my live stream last week, or if you watched my most recent video on tips, on basically tips, what did I call that? 7 popular tip, or 7 my best tips on how to set up your Fiverr account for success. One of those tips was to make a gig video. So you don't have to make a gig video in Fiverr. And if I look back here, we can see that not all of actually most of them do. This little play button up here means that there's a gig video associated with this gig. Okay. This one here does not have, I'm not picking on this seller, but just stating a fact. There is no gig video for this. So there would just be images. Okay. Because there's no play button right here. The next row, there's 4 of them here that have gig videos. These all have them. These 3 have them. This one does not. Anyways, my point is, I strongly recommend, if you're going to give a Fiverr business, or if you want to give Fiverr a serious go and become a Fiverr seller and be successful at it, I believe you need a gig video. I mean, my first argument is that not everybody is making one, so why don't you make one and make your gig stand out that much more? But the more I look into this, the more that I see that more people are starting to make gig videos. So the flip side is, well, if everybody's got a gig video, you should too. You don't want to be the one gig that people don't look at just because they wanted more information and they couldn't get all the information they wanted from your 2 or 3 images that you posted. So um, a gig video is also a great way to help connect with your potential clients. And that's by so you can make a gig video without your face in it, like this, or like mine. But I don't necessarily recommend that, if at all possible. Just going to pull myself up here again. Or can I make the screen? Yeah, I'll just make it smaller there. Yeah, so I recommend, if you can, I recommend to put your face, like to be in the video yourself, because it helps market you. Think about your gig as you selling not just a service, but you're selling yourself. Right? So people do business with other people. I mean, it might be cliche to say that. A lot of people, I mean, I've heard this before. You've probably heard it before as well. Sure, you're looking for a specific task to get done, and you're going to hire somebody to do this task for you. But if you have 2 choices to pick from, and one is a very personable person who you can speak with back and forth, and you know what they look like, and you've heard them, and you might feel like you have more of a connection with them than another seller who you have no idea what they look like, where they are, or if they're even real. I mean, a lot of there have been gigs posted by people, and they'll post pictures of other people that aren't even them. They'll try to portray themselves as something that they are not. And maybe that works to some degree for some people, but I don't subscribe to that business model. I believe on being up and up, be totally legit. It only brings more credibility to your Fiverr business if you are honest with people, and this is me, and put yourself out there, put yourself in video, and so that people can connect with you. And if you don't come across as being 100% professional or know exactly what you're doing in terms of making a video, that's probably fine, unless your gig is to make very professional videos for people. Then you'll want to make sure your gig video is very professional. But if you're doing something like subtitling was the first gig that I ever did. I added subtitles to people's videos. People don't need to know what I look like, or they don't need to know that I can converse on video like this in order for me to be able to add subtitles to a video. But when I made that video, um, I did not, that was very early on in my video making career, I guess. And I didn't really know what I was doing. It was a very uh, unprofessional video, if you will, shot with my iPhone, just holding it up like this. And it was shaky. And, but, I had a smile on, and I was just telling people exactly what I have to offer. And I had a lot of people come to me and say, "Oh, uh, loved your video," even though I don't think it was very good. It was grainy. I think it was shot at, it wasn't very high quality. The lighting wasn't good. Um, but they said I came across as personable. And so, they felt like they connected, and they ended up ordering from me. So that helped. And that gig video I had for probably the first 2 years. It's only been within the last year that I changed it. Um, so probably my first 2 years was a very unprofessional looking video, a gig video that I made, and but it worked. It brought in lots of sales. So yeah, it doesn't have you don't have to be perfect, but I strongly recommend you make a gig video and put your face on it, like I did here. Again, not everybody does it. Some people do, like here, 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 but not everybody does. And it's going to depend on what you offer. So for this, for my gig video, actually, I'm not. You can see where I have it in my Fiverr gig. Now let me just minimize this. Here's how I made it. Okay, so I used Camtasia. So that's what most of my videos have been about on this channel, how to use Camtasia. And so, but you can use anything. You can use Premiere Pro. You can use Final Cut Pro. Whatever video editing software you have access to, you can use that to make yourself a gig video. Um, and now if I just want to break this down a little bit for you so you can see what I added to this. It looks kind of complicated, but it really isn't. Um, if we just, let me just hide this. Oh, I have to make this bigger so you can see it. That's probably good enough. You can see, let's make it even bigger. No, then now I'm in the way. There we go. Okay. So the first thing to do, let me just give you a quick overview of what's here, what you're looking at. So the very first part, if I just scrub the playhead through, you can see so the very first part here, again, if you watched my last video where I recommended that you make a gig video for your Fiverr gig, uh, the very next thing I recommended was make a custom thumbnail for that gig video. If you notice, this is my thumbnail. It's not a video at all. The first, how long is it? 1 second. The first 1 second of my video is actually a still image, this image here, of myself in my office, and I added some text and the Fiverr logo. Okay, now if we go back to see my gig, there it is. That's the gig image. And if you back up to the search results page, there it is again. Okay, so that's the custom thumbnail. If I didn't, and as long as what you want to be your custom thumbnail exists in your video, then when you upload your gig video to your gig, you can choose it. You can scrub the playhead through it. It'll say, choose a custom thumbnail or let us pick one for you. Well, you want to say, no, I want to choose my custom one. And then you just drag the custom, the playhead to the location that you want to be your thumbnail. So it works differently than it works in YouTube. In YouTube, you get to upload an image to be your thumbnail. Not with Fiverr. With Fiverr gigs, you have to choose a specific spot within your gig video to be the thumbnail. So because of that, I created one. So this is a 1 second long static image. And if I just zoom in here, let me just zoom in. You can see for this 1 second, there are 4 things. There's this, that's the background image. Now there's this, that's the Fiverr logo. Okay. This one here is the video tutorials text. And this one here is of your website. So those 4 things is all I used to make my thumbnail. And I made that so when people press play, this will stay visible for 1 second, and then it fades away. I put a fade on all 4 of those things. That's what this is here. That's fade to black, I believe I used. I hover over it. No, it's just fade. Okay, I will often use fade to black, but you can use just fade. If your background is black, it will fade to black anyway. So that's what I did. So that's the first second. Then I start speaking, and I'm going to put my headphones on so I can hear this as well. My name is Rob Moore, and I'm ready to create a video tutorial. Okay, so I get right into the video. One of the things about a Fiverr gig video, it can be no longer than 75 seconds, I believe. So mine is every bit of that. So 1 minute and just under 15 seconds. So that's the limit for a Fiverr gig video, and I used it all. Now, if I were to break down all of this, these 2 tracks here are my video and my audio. And the reason they're separated is because I recorded them separately. Okay. I recorded this through Camtasia, through the Camtasia record system. But the audio that I chose was the audio source through this microphone. Okay. So my camera has a microphone up here, but it's not as good as this microphone. So I chose to record this microphone, and I recorded it into Adobe Audition, and then I made some edits to it, and then I exported that and brought it into Camtasia that way. So this track here, the actual video, did have audio associated with it. I separated the audio, and I either separated it or I just put the gain down to 0. There it is. I can put the gain back up, and it comes back up. But yeah, so I got rid of the audio that was captured by my camera and instead used this audio here. So the next step would be to do all my jump cuts, and that's what all these little cuts are here. So so it looks like that first sentence I got in without a mistake. My name is Rob Moore, and I'm ready to create it. Oh, and one more thing. These 2 things here are the 2 little titles here that I have animating on to the screen. And then I have them fade away. Or screencast of your website or app. A screencast. Okay, and then there was a jump cut, and then we get into video recording of your website or there. So now there's all kinds of things going on. Okay, so but the first thing you have to do before you add any of this stuff, any of these tracks up here, was you have to get these tracks right. Okay, so do your jump cuts. Make sure your audio and video all match up perfectly and are synced before you start doing your jump cuts. And then you do your audio and video jump cuts together. And then that will set the length of your video. And I may have had to eliminate a sentence or 2 to get this down to the size that I wanted. But then once that is set, then I moved on to making the video. And there's a bunch of different things I had going on here. So one thing is here, you can see a little animation. That was animating my the camera view of me up to the top corner. Okay, so that you can see what I did here. Screencast is a video recording of your website. I animated that up there, and there's also a little effect added here. Let me just zoom in on this. This little effect, I'm assuming that's the shadow that I added here. So let's just yeah, drop shadow. So and that effect, I would have added that to all of these, and you can add it to multiple. You can select multiple things and add an effect to multiple clips at one time. So that's how I would have done that. So yeah, I this little animation made my camera view of myself up to the top corner. I also cropped it in on the left and the right, top and bottom, and then I started building the video on the inside. So, and that's when all these things came into play. So I have some text here. That's the video tutorials text. And I have it fading on. This text is right here. So you can click on something and find out what it is on your. So that's an arrow right there. Okay, and then what's this down here? If I click, okay, so this here is this. So that is actually a video tutorial I did for a client. that I brought in as an MP4 and overlaid that on top of this blue background, which is this. Okay, and that's a motion background that I got from Storyblocks. So you can see things are moving in the background. Okay, and then on this, you see there's a red border around the video tutorial here. Well, that was probably an effect I added right here. Yeah, border right there. And clip speed too. So I also sped up that video so that it would fit in the area that I wanted to. Okay, and then if we just move along further, you can see I added a black shape. Okay, and the reason I did that is because I wanted this clip to fade into this one, fade through black. And since black is no longer the background, this blue motion background is there. I didn't want it to fade to that. I wanted everything in this box to go black and then come back to this next video. And that's why I added the shape here. So I would have added a track to add this shape. And then I fade into another video that I made. Okay. And so you get the idea what it is. And then I had another one fade through black and then come back to here. And this is another video tutorial I made for another client, a different type of video tutorial where I recorded an iPhone screen and used a template there. But I did that. And then here at the towards the end, this is where I animated back, you know, my camera view of myself. And then what did I have going on down here? This. I just faded that. I scaled that back to 0 and faded it out at the same time. And then now this video is the main part of the video, and that's right here. And then as we get towards the end, you can see, what is this now? Oh, that's a little sound effect. Let's just zoom in. Okay, if I just play this. 3 years I've been working as a full-time. Okay, that's a sound effect that I added for when this logo popped onto the screen. And then let's see what these three things are. Okay, those are just quick little screenshots that I grabbed of my Fiverr account, showing some testimonials, and then those fade away. And then that is it. Okay, that's went back to the beginning. Let me just zoom full screen. And then behind all of that is the background music, which I have here at the bottom. I usually like to make this large, at least until I have the audio set. So a couple things a lot of times I will have an intro, and I've gone through this before in other live streams. When I have an intro, like a logo intro, and I'm not speaking during that, I'll have the music come in louder, right? And then I'll ramp it down, the volume of the audio down so that you can hear my voice. So I'll have the background music loud, then it goes soft during the narration, and then at the end, if I have a logo ending without talking, once my talking is finished, I will then ramp the volume of the background music back up. But in this case, my constraint, as I said, when you make a Fiverr gig video, you're allowed 75 seconds. And I think I had some trouble keeping everything I had to say within 75 seconds. So my jump cuts were probably a little tighter. I probably had to remove one or two sentences from the script. I may have recorded them and then just cut them out when I edited this together. And so since I wanted to speak during the entire video, I did not have an intro section and an outro section where I had louder audio. So my point is I did not have the audio louder. I just quickly ramped it in. See that? I always start at 0 volume for music, and then but that's only about a half a second. So within a half a second, I've got the volume up as loud as I want it. So let me just press the space bar so you can hear that. So it's just a little more subtle, the music coming in. And then towards the end, same thing. I ramped it down. And I don't like to end the audio like bang with it just ending. I like to, even if it's really quick. So again, this is, it only takes a half a second, but I have the music fade away. Oh, okay. So that's that. I'm just quickly checking my comments now. So basically, yeah, that is how I made a gig video in Camtasia. Um, I just quickly jumped up and I saw that Adam said we can't hear the system sound. I apologize. I went through that and you didn't hear the system sound. Hopefully, you still got the gist of what I was trying to say there. Um, I don't know why that would have happened because I thought I selected system sound when maybe it's just the volume is too low. Anyways, I apologize for that, Adam. But hopefully you got the gist of what I was trying to explain there. The audio was probably a very small part of the overall what I was trying to explain. So hopefully that's okay. Um, let's see. Adam also says, as an idea, maybe when 2022 comes out, Camtasia 2022, that might be a good introduction to the new features in 2022. Absolutely, and I 100% plan on doing that. Uh, Camtasia 2022 is coming out June 7th. Um, I got a message back from technical support. Actually, they answered me and said it's coming out June 7th. They can't tell me what's going to be in it, but that the new version is June 7th. So I am looking forward to that. That is, I guess, less than 2 weeks away. So what's that? A week from next Tuesday. Um, as soon as that comes out, I am going to upgrade and I'm going to go through the notes and I want to find out what all is new and then I'm going to share it with you guys. So my intention would be to make a video about what is new in it, um, but also a live stream. So next week's live stream won't be about this because that'll be too soon. But the one after that, so 2 weeks from today, on the live stream, I will go over what all is new in Camtasia 2022, and I'm excited. I'm hoping for a lot of new things, and it'll give us some things to talk about, and it'll give me some more ideas as to other videos that I can make and show you guys how to do some things. So. Yep, that is the plan. So I'm looking forward to that. Boys, it's warm in here. It's starting to warm up. Let's go back to the comments. I think there was one more here. Maynard Mariquin, thank you for your question and welcome to the live stream. He says, in Camtasia, can you cut a video and pieces and use same pieces again together? I see in Vegas you can do it. Can you banish other video in the top? Other video, thanks. And hello from California. Hello, California. um, so I think what you're asking, yes, you can put a video in a video, if that's what you're asking. And that's kind of what I did here. I'll share my screen again so you can see right here in this. Okay, let me just get rid of this banner so it's not in the way. In this, so here's my Camtasia, what I've got here, and this is a gig video that I made for my Fiverr gig, and so this is the main video. If I put the playhead right here, and this is what this part that I'm highlighting here, that is a video I created in Camtasia for a client. Okay, and I imported that as an MP4 as an asset up here in the media bin. And in fact, you can see where it is. So it says Telenotes 1 Create Company. So if I go up here and scroll through right here, this is it here. So that is an MP4, as you can see, an MP4 video file that I imported into this project. And then I brought it into my timeline down here. And then I made it a little bit smaller. Okay, so it can fit within the video that I was making. Okay, and then I put a border around it, and I don't think I put a drop shadow around this, but yeah, that's an example of doing that. Another example in this so there's 3 of these that I strung together. This one, and then if we move along further, this one I made the exact same size and put it in the same frame, and then this one. So those are 3 separate MP4 video files that I brought in, and put them within this main video. And now a fourth one would be if we just go down here, this one down here is this. That is a motion background that I downloaded from Storyblocks. I have an account with Storyblocks, and it's a great way to get access to uh, motion backgrounds. My music, my background music that I use for my video tutorials, I also get from Storyblocks. Um, so I downloaded that here. And you can see it here in the media bin. Again, it's an MP4. Will that show up? There you go. MP4 video file. Now, in this one, it's only 30 seconds long. So what I had to do was make a copy of it and paste it over here because I wanted it to last longer than 30 seconds. I wanted it to last from 9 seconds here all the way to here, right? So I just copied it here and then Control V to paste it here. And then I trimmed it to fit on the timeline. So yeah, this video here I made with 1, 2, 3, 4 MP4s, 5 if you count the main video, which is this one here, myself captured from my camera. So that's 5 MP4s all kind of jammed into one video that I arranged the way I wanted it to, and then I rendered it out into an MP4 video altogether. And now, I mean, I could then bring that into another video if I could bring it into this very same video if I wanted to. Um, all kinds of things like that that you can do. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. If that's what you were looking to do, if not, let me know, and I will try to answer as best as I can. Um, Okay, so Adam suggests we should have a Camtasia unboxing party. Love it. Why not? Yes. Oh well, that would be Tuesday then. Uh, I could do that. I could go live on the Tuesday that I get it. I would not have. I guess yeah, we could just kind of go through it together. Maybe that might be a good idea. I could just go live as soon as I know that it's available. Um, Next Tuesday. Good idea. I might do that. Let me think on that for a little bit. Um, But yeah, usually I schedule these to be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern, which is, sorry, 1 o'clock Atlantic time, which is where I am, which is 12 o'clock Eastern. But depending on what time of day they release it, I think Camtasia is based out of Michigan, which is, I think they're 2 hours west of here. So that would make it noon there right now, I believe. So depending on what time of day they release it, uh, that will dictate whether I'll be able to unbox it live that day or the next day. But either way, I'll make something work. I'll make something work so that we can figure it out together and see what all is new in the latest version of Camtasia. I'm excited. Usually, the last few years they came out in April, but this one about a month and a half later, early June. So I don't know if that means they're going to have even more new things available than before or not. Time will tell. um, okay, so yeah, I think I've gone through all of the questions I have, and trying to think now. Is there anything else? I've been live for not quite an hour, so let's keep going here. Let's. I want to go live. When I go live, I want it to be for at least an hour because that's what I said I would do. So, if you have any other questions, let me know, and I'll answer them as best as I can. Um, but some other things that I have written down here. Um, yeah, I guess at some point, let me know what direction you'd like to see this channel go. Do you want me to continue down the Camtasia path and really diving deep into Camtasia so we can all get awesome at Camtasia, making video tutorial? Is there a specific use of Camtasia that you'd like to learn more about, like making video tutorials or like recording yourself and making gig videos like I did, or so that's specific to Fiverr. But I mean, a lot of the videos I've made for YouTube, I've made using Camtasia. Actually, most all of them except for the last one. The last one I use Premiere Pro, just something I'm learning how to do, teaching myself as I go. So that one took a long time because it was my first one using Premiere Pro. Um, excuse me, but all of the other video tutorials, sorry, all of the other YouTube videos that I've made just with Camtasia. And the way I usually do it is I will uh, record myself in Camtasia. Um, uh, yeah, I'd record myself in Camtasia, but I'd record the audio separate, and I put them back to the same way I made this gig video that I just went over. Is how I would make YouTube videos. Now, the longer they get, the harder it becomes to edit them in Camtasia. I find Camtasia starts to slow down if I get up to 10 minutes or longer, the video, especially if I have a whole bunch of jump cuts. Now, one way around that is I can do all of my jump cuts first, and then I could export that as an MP4 and then start a new Camtasia project and import that MP4. And now it's just one long MP4 file with no jump cuts because I already did the jump cuts before. So, and then it's a much cleaner process, and doing edits on top of that would become much easier. Um, so I've had to do that before for longer videos. Um, but if I stay under 10 minutes, then it's fine. Now, if I record in 4K, then it does become problematic for me to, and I don't know if that's because of my computer system or if it's a limitation with Camtasia, if I'm trying to do too many things at one time. But I've found it difficult to edit 4K videos with a lot of jump cuts in Camtasia. So um, all of my YouTube videos up until the last one have been 1080p video. Myself, I recorded myself in 1080p. But the last one, I did record myself in 4K, which is this camera that I'm using here, the A6400 by Sony, records 4K videos. So that's awesome. Um, now, this live stream is not 4K; it's 1080p. I don't think I can live stream in 4K because my internet upload speed is not good enough. But I don't think there's a need for that for live streams, anyways. It is 1080p, which is great. And as I said, all my previous YouTube videos were 1080p, but I'd like to move more towards the 4K. For those who have 4K monitors, it looks much better. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the direction I'm going with that. But let me know if there's anything you'd like me to see me teach with regards to Camtasia. Do you want to see more video tutorial type videos, more specialized type videos? Like the last few quick tip videos I made were really getting in there, like how to make some custom an- animations, animations, some custom animations like orbiting around something, which is not easy to do with Camtasia, not natively. There's some tricks you have to go through, and I made a video on that, and I did a live stream on it as well. But you don't typically have to get that detailed and that tricky when making video tutorials, unless you want to. You can make them as complicated or not as you want. But yeah, do you want to see more videos like that, or just general how to make video tutorials without yourself, your face in them? Or do you want to see more of how to edit yourself and how to make better videos with you in them? Because that's also something that I've been learning a lot of on how to do. Um, jump cuts to eliminate mistakes when I record myself, or using a teleprompter like this guy here, which I used to make my last video, and I'm going to use when I make my course videos. Um, or do you just memorize line by line and then cut out the mistakes, or do you just wing it and just like I'm doing now? I'm not obviously not reading from a script right now. I'm just talking. But I feel like to help better retain people's what's the word I'm looking for? To help people want to continue watching my videos, to retain them, I got to cut out all these uhs and ums and tighten things up, and that's why my videos that I edit are typically much more edited, um, to eliminate all that. So I'm not great at speaking on my feet. I have to think about what I want to say before I say it. And then if I say something and I don't like the way it sounded, and I'll want to say it again. So I heavily edit my videos that wind up on YouTube, and my gig video, obviously, as well. Um, But these live streams are not like that. So, but if you want to learn more about how to make videos of yourself, I may not be perfect at making them, but I've learned a lot of the theory behind it, how to make yourself look okay. So lighting, I'm fairly well lit up, I think, right now. I've got a fairly inexpensive panel light up here by Godox, I think it is, that I use as my key light. And then I have another light here and another light in the back, and then a couple of colored blue light there, a yellow one over there, wanting just to add some different things around. Um, so yeah, there's some things that I've learned on how to make the background look a little better. Um, as you can probably tell if you look, the closer I get to the camera, because this camera has autofocus, it's always going to focus on me. The background is blurry. So if I were to back right up to the background, since it's still focusing on me, the background should become more in focus. Or if I'm right beside this camera, it's in focus. Okay. Whereas if I move right up to the camera, now that camera is not in focus. This tripod back here is not in focus. So that's a result of the lens that I have on here, the Sigma what is it? Sigma 16 millimeter f1.4. Great lens. It's a prime lens, which means I can't zoom it. Like this one has a zoom feature. See this one? I can turn it and zoom just like that. But this prime lens, I can't do that. It's 16 millimeters. So if I want to appear, larger, I have to get closer. Right now, I'm only about 18 inches away from the. So here where I normally sit, I think that's about 2 feet. But I'm about 2 feet away from the camera. So yeah, if I want it to be bigger, um, I could get a different lens and move the camera back. That's one way you could do it. But anyways, I've learned a lot about lenses and cameras and how to record yourself. I have this camera plugged into my computer, so it has HDMI out. Usually when you record yourself, I shouldn't say usually, but a common way to record yourself in your computer in Camtasia is from a webcam. Okay. Camtasia will recognize a webcam, and it'll recognize audio sources. So the audio source, which I have here, this microphone is plugged into an audio interface, which then plugs into my computer. Um, Camtasia recognizes that as an audio source. For the video, in order to get this camera hooked into my computer, I have to run it into one of several things. One thing you can do is you can get something called a cam link, and I have one here somewhere. Thought I did. Yes. So at one point I used this guy here. Oh, it's dusty. Under my desk. So this guy right here, is that in focus? I have to cover my face. So that is a cam link, 4K, I believe. Yep, cam link 4K. So with this, you plug your camera into this end. Okay, that's HDMI. So the camera has a mini HDMI out. So that wire goes and plugs into here. And then this end is just a regular USB cable. I have to hide my face for that to go in focus. Does that work? Yeah. USB, okay, into your computer. So that is how you can get your uh, camera into your computer relatively inexpensively. I want to say this is $150 or so. Um, there are cheaper alternatives. They don't look as good, but this this will send a 4K signal. I am only sending 1080p when I'm doing live streams, but if I wanted to capture at 4K, this is great. Another way to do it is through an A10 Mini Switcher, which is what I'm using, and I will show you that. It's this right here. This box right here is an A10 Mini Pro, it's called. And if I zoom in on that A10 Mini Pro, so you see I have this number 2 here. This allows me to switch between 4 cameras, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's also some picture-in-picture things you can do with it. But I don't really use those. I just use this. I'll switch between these 2 cameras like that. Okay. And eventually I'm going to have another camera that I'm going to plug into number 3. That's going to be an overhead camera I want to show you some things as I'm drawing or whatnot on my table, or showing some products with a top down shot. Um, yeah, so that's how I do it, because I wanted more than one camera into the computer. Now you can get a couple of cam links and have two cam links going in. I believe you could do that. Things get a little more complicated then, because you can only select one to live stream to. This A10 Mini allows me to switch outside of StreamYard and choose which camera to show. So that's how I do that. Now, what prompted me to go down that route? Oh, yes. So if you want to learn more about how to create good videos with you in them like this, and how to make yourself light up properly and be in focus and things like that, let me know, because I can go through all of that. What I do, whether it's for live streaming or um, making YouTube videos or gig videos, uh, it's all kind of the same. A lot of the lighting is the same. The equipment is the same. How you have things plugged in, and your workflow could be a little bit different, whether you want to do it live or not live and then edit it afterwards. Um, as far as getting the stuff, as far as getting the video feed into your computer, if you're not doing it live, you can, instead of, excuse me, capturing live by Camtasia, you could record to an SD card in your camera and take that out and plug it in your computer, and then and download the files and edit it afterwards that way if you want. And I did that with my last video because I did not record that in Camtasia. I used Premiere Pro to edit that one. So with that one, I recorded to a an SD card and brought it into Premiere Pro that way. Um, so yeah, different ways to do the same thing, and it can be overwhelming and complicated. Um, Sometimes you don't know where to start, but yeah, it can start with just asking me anything you want to know about any of this stuff, and I'd be happy to help you out. So that said, uh, I think I'm going to end it there. I don't have any more questions, do I? No more questions. So the last one was Camtasia unboxing party. I'll look into doing that. So again, remember that Camtasia is coming out with their latest version on June 7th. I'm going to look at, as Adam has suggested, doing an unboxing live. Not really an unboxing, but I'll start it up and find out what's new about it, and we'll try to figure it out together. In addition, I'm going to create a video on all of the new things in Camtasia, and by the time uh, 2 weeks from today comes, the next of Thursday afternoon live stream, we'll go over it then as well. So in the meantime, if you have any other questions you want me to touch on, let me know, either in this chat, although this chat's going to be shut down shortly once I end this video, um, or post it in the comments below, or in the comments of any of my other videos. I usually answer within 1 to 2 hours, any of the comments that come in, and I'll get back to you. And if you have any suggestions on what other videos you want me to make or post, let me know that too. With that said, until next time, thanks for joining in, and we will see you, or I will see you next time. Okay, cheers.